Hey everyone, I wanted to jump on and talk about probably my most vulnerable video I've ever done. And for those of you that know me or follow some of my stuff, you know that I talk about a lot of vulnerable things about my challenges with mental health issues, with anxiety and depression, PTSD, um, childhood trauma. I talk about all of that stuff because I think it's important for those of us who can talk about it to talk about it to help those that are struggling with things like that aren't ready to talk about it but need somebody that can, somebody that can give them a voice and connect with them. So the thing that I want to talk about today that is uncomfortable for me is around money. I've been on a journey for quite a while now. Um, I've been on a journey with money my whole life, trying to figure it out. I had it and then I didn't. I had it and then I didn't. Had a great job, had lots of money, buy lots of things, paid off all my credit cards, um, but then bought other stuff and whatever. You know how it goes. Always had a great credit rating and all that stuff. Always tried to be super responsible. But then, I decided I would start my own business and left a good job, left a really good job that I loved, but wasn't fulfilled. So I wanted to try something else and invested everything I could possibly invest in myself and in my dream. Like I'm telling you, I you're going to be rolling your eyes when you hear this, but whatever. I cashed in pensions. I cashed in life insurance. I borrowed money from my mom, my 86-year-old mom. I borrowed money from my first husband, my my girl's dad. I and just for the record, you know what? I'm going to call myself out. I paid back my ex-husband. I've not paid back my mom yet. So mom, I apologize for that. But I've literally I put my all into building my own business. And I believed that, you know what, every time I made a decision and spent money on a course or on myself, um, I was investing in myself. And I believe that you have to invest in yourself. That's the best investment you can ever make. But you also need to know when to stop buying the next course or thinking that the next thing is going to be it for you. And I made that decision a couple months ago. I swore off courses altogether. No more courses. So, and I've had a couple moments where I wanted to buy one, but I was like, no, no more. I made a promise. I'm going to do this without spending any more money on courses. My point being, I am now at a point in my life where most of you know, or people that you know us know, that my husband and I moved up to Marathon in May for him to take a job as fire chief here. And I moved up here and left everything behind. And I did not have a job to come to when I moved here. I was still trying to grow my business, although my business had kind of been shelved due to COVID. I wasn't able to do any more public speaking or training in body language, which is what I was doing, was teaching body language and mental health to fire departments. So it's been a bit of a tough go, but we all face our challenges. But the biggest takeaway for me, and the reason I'm doing this video right now, is because I want to talk about money and that relationship, because it's the toughest relationship you will probably ever have. Like people say it's, and I believe that the relationship you have with yourself is one of the defining factors, but the one you have with money is, man, it's everything. It's my toughest battle, and I've had some tough ones. Um, I've had some tough ones, and I talk about all of that, but this one is the one that makes me most uncomfortable. I'm squirming in my chair. You can watch my body language, like I'm fiddling with my hair. I'm sweating, um, and this is the one I feel like I need to make myself do. But here's the thing: right now, at this point in my life, I have minus like $300 in my bank account. And in the past, my bank account largely determined how I felt about myself. It's hard to not let it, right? Because that's what we talk about. That's how we kind of measure ourselves personally with how well we're doing. Because if there's no money in my bank account, I would fall into this litany of things that means about me. I've made bad decisions. I'm irresponsible. I still haven't grown up. I've done the wrong thing. I'm still doing the wrong thing. I haven't got my life or myself figured out yet. All of these things came up every time I looked at my bank account. It boggles my mind because I am in such a different place, and that was only like a couple days ago that I was in that place again. So here's the thing that shifted for me. And this is a lifelong pattern of like watching my bank account go up and down and up and down and feeling this, oh, I feel good, I don't feel good. I feel good. I have money, I feel good. I don't have money, I don't feel good. And this constant like fluctuation. I was walking my dog yesterday and I was thinking about how I'm waiting for this opportunity to come through for me. It's an opportunity to do some contract work that I'm really excited about. I love the work. And of course, hey, a paycheck, right? That's great, especially for where I'm at. But I heard this little voice. I was thinking about how, man, I'll just be so relieved when this thing finally happens. Although there's no doubt for me that it's going to happen, it was just this, I'm still waiting for it. I didn't like that feeling of waiting for this thing, waiting for my life, right? Like waiting to be happy, waiting to feel relief, or waiting to feel freedom, or waiting to feel better, or waiting to feel like I had a safety net again, or whatever it was. So I'm walking my dog. I'm thinking, man, I'll be glad when this thing comes through. And then I hear this voice in my head say, if you don't find you're happy where you are right now, that thing and any other thing is never going to be it for you. You have to find your happiness right where you are. This was like this voice in my head, and I thought, wow. I mean, it makes sense. I understand that. But the other side of it was like, who the hell can be happy when they have no money? Who the hell can be truly happy when they have no income and they have minus $300 in the bank account? Like, show me somebody that can truly be happy with that, right? But I knew wherever this voice came from, I knew it was the truth. And just recognizing that knowing allowed something to shift inside of me, like to truly shift. Because I've always been somebody who felt like they were not enough. And I always looked at somebody else or something else to complete me. And that failed time after time after time. And yet I was still doing that, even with trying to build my business. I was still looking for this business as a way to prove myself, to be somebody, to make myself something, to validate me, to acknowledge me. So I recognize that this is the truth. And I also recognize that, man, if I can truly find a way to be happy right where I am in my life, with no job, with no income, with no freaking money in my bank account, then I can do anything. I can do anything. And I just want to clarify, yes, I mean, I have a beautiful house that I live in. My husband works full time. He has a great job. He's very happy. He's happy to support me. He's never given me grief about, helping me out to cover my truck payment, or the fact that he's the one that buys the groceries and whatever else. He's never given me grief about that. But And there's people that don't have money and don't have the house and the husband and the support system that I have. So I just want to acknowledge that. But for me, my struggle has always been with money and trying to take care of myself. And even though, I paid off my student loans myself from college, I was able to buy a nice vehicle. It was my good credit rating that allowed us to buy our last house, and therefore to be able to buy this one with cash when we sold our last house. So it's not all bad. I have been very responsible with money in the past, but I think it's very important to have this conversation because people don't talk about money. People don't talk about the relationship with money unless they're people that have money and they're telling the story from where they've been. Like they have money now and they're comfortable with sharing, when they didn't have money. I'm sharing the story right now. Like I'm sitting here right now, minus $300 in my bank account, and I don't give a shit. I'm truly, I've gotten to the place where I don't need anything outside of me to define me, especially money. And I can tell you, it is the best feeling I have ever experienced. Because if you're still looking for that external thing that's going to complete you, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And that's not a bad thing. That's actually very empowering because once you realize that you can bring the joy, the happiness, the love, the acknowledgement, the acceptance, the validation, the joy. I don't know if I already said that, but when you finally figure out how to do that for yourself, there is no greater gift in the world, because when you are able to light yourself up, you light up the world. You bring yourself, your best self, to everybody in your life, to everybody that crosses your path, your family, your colleagues, your friends, strangers. When you're full, you give from that place. You're not looking to find your fullness in something else. So anyway, man, that's where I'm at. I'm surprised I'm actually doing this right now because I was just on a call with a girlfriend and I was explaining to her where I was at and how I felt called to do a video and talk about this money thing. But there was so much shame around it and embarrassment. I didn't want to. But you know what? I just feel so free. Man, you know what? If there's a thing that you struggle with or a thing you've always looked to, hoping that that thing would fulfill you, whether it's a relationship or a career or having children or money, whatever that thing is, especially if it's money, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. I want to talk about this because so many of us are a slave to money and it dictates how we feel about ourselves, and nothing should do that. No external thing should dictate how we feel about ourselves. So if I can sit here and smile and be honestly happy and authentic and joyful and cool with whatever money is in my bank account or lack thereof, then there's hope. There is hope for us all. So let me know if anything I said resonates with you, because I'm sure I'm not the only one.